What's up YouTube? This is Chris with Murphy Firearms Training. This is video number 4 for NRA Basic Rifle. I have on the table America's rifle, the AR-15. Your instructor may have some other rifle, but I'm going to use the AR-15 as the platform for this video because I think it's one of the most popular rifles in the United States of America and even in the world. And you're going to be required to clear some common rifle stoppages if you are going for your NRA rifle instructor. The first rifle stoppage you're expected to clear is a failure to fire. Now, the assumption in this failure to fire drill is that you either forgot to load the first round off the top of the magazine, so you closed the bolt and then inserted a magazine, or you have a misfire, okay, a dud. And one of the things you need to make sure is that if you do this on the range, that you inspect the cartridge that comes out of the chamber and make sure that it is in fact a misfire, but it's called a failure to fire drill, okay? So the failure to fire drill looks like this. You've got your magazine. And typically when I'm doing this, I'm gonna have the magazine already loaded. So you put your round in the center of the magazine, you press down, round in the magazine, press down, 2 rounds in the magazine. We're gonna go ahead and insert that in the gun. We're going to keep the gun pointing in a safe direction, and when you grab it, you're either going to wrap your fingers here or you're going to index that finger here. I like that finger index here because it's very, very apparent it's not in the trigger guard. So we got this gun pointing in a safe direction. We've got our finger index correctly. We're going to press our bolt release. So there's our bolt release. This gun is loaded. Failure to fire drill. One other thing, guys, the safety. This gun is on fire, okay? Make sure before you try this drill, you do flip it to fire, okay? So this gun is on fire. It's ready to fire. We're going to point it in a safe direction. We're going to pull the trigger, okay? Pull the trigger. You're going to wait 30 seconds. Count it out loud. 1, 2, 3. For the sake of a video, we're going to fast forward to 30. But in your class, you are required to count to 30. Then you are going to tap the magazine to make sure that it is properly seated. You are going to pull your charging handle to the rear swiftly. Release said charging handle. You have cleared a failure to fire drill. That's it. Okay? Now at the end of the drill, you're going to remove your magazine. You are going to empty your chamber, and if you watched my loading and unloading video, you're going to press the bottom of the bolt release, pull back, lock the bolt to the rear. You're going to lock the charging handle back in place, and now you can verify that this is in fact unloaded and place it back on the table. You have cleared a failure to fire drill. The second drill you have to clear is called a double feed. I would set this up before you came up to the table, but a double feed, sometimes also called a failure to extract. Here's what happens, guys. You got a round in the chamber. It did not get pulled out by the extractor, and your gun tries to feed another round in. And so I'll actually have this set up when you come to the table, and it'll look something like this, okay? So pay attention. You're going to see the bolt is partially forward, not all the way back, not all the way forward. A double feed, okay? How to clear a double feed in a semi-automatic rifle. Here's the deal. Number 1, you've got to lock this bolt back. Number 2, you got to get this magazine out. Number 3, you got to get the round out of the chamber. So here's your options. One option is to actually press down on the bolt catch, pull this back and lock the bolt. A second option is you can actually pull the charging handle back, hold it rearward, and try to get that cartridge to come out. Now it isn't budging, and if it isn't budging, then I'm going to use the bolt catch. Why? Because the longer I hold this spring, the more likely I am to wave this rifle around. Lock that bolt back. Now it's not under tension, okay? I got this gun pointing in a safe direction. The bolt's locked open. I'm going to remove that magazine. When I remove that magazine, that partially fed round is removed. If you do that and lay this on the table, you have not completed this drill because there is still a round stuck in the chamber. I have to get that round out. How am I going to accomplish that? I'm going to press my bolt catch here, let that bolt slam forward, and then I'm going to work the action. And I actually, out of pure habit, like to work the action 3 or 4 times. I'm going to lock that bolt rearward again, and then I'm going to visually and physically verify that this is in fact unloaded. And that is a double feed drill on an AR-15. If you have a different rifle platform, the process will be very similar, which is you've got to remove the source of ammunition, the magazine, and then you've got to get the rounds that are in this area, right, as well as the chamber, out of the gun and verify that it's unloaded. And I mentioned this in a previous video. If you've got a small chamber where you can't get your finger in there and you want to physically verify, a zip tie is a good friend. A zip tie is a good friend. And I like to, in a lot of my classes, I like to actually, when I leave the guns locked open, I like to keep a chamber flag in them. This verifies that this gun is unloaded for me. So I slide that into the chamber, and it's nice. It's a zip tie around a piece of PVC, and it's nice because that tells me that it's unloaded because, I mean, that zip tie is sticking in there far enough there can't be any ammo, and it works on something as small as a 22. So anyway, something I wanted to show you guys. I hope it's helpful for you. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments. But those are your 2 malfunction drills that you have to clear to become an NRA rifle instructor, and that's how you clear them. Make sure you keep your gun pointed in a safe direction. Make sure you're not waving that muzzle around when you're fighting that bolt spring. The best thing you can do is get a good grip on the gun, get it in a good stable position, and then lock that bolt open. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Guys, we appreciate your support. Please like and subscribe. Have a great day.